Okay, as promised, I did a speed test on the ZR 200 and we got 43 kilometers an hour out of it. And I promised to show you all the flaws as I come across them, because we're gonna have the problems, right? So we can't get it idle. There's a button in there that has to fully compress, otherwise it will not idle. You just simply disconnect it under the cowling and shrink tube it. It's back in here somewhere. There it is. I can't tell you exactly which one it is. You just got to follow it down from the throttle, comes down the column and back in here. Unplug it, wrap it with an electrical tape, whatever. Okay, so that was problem number one with this thing. Number two, if Junior is playing and runs into something as simple as a frozen planter, it's gonna get broken. It's built extremely light, and here's what we're running into is the A-arms come into a heim joint here and a heim joint here. This allows this whole arm, if he stabs the front of the ski at all, it shoves everything back. It's able to rotate instead of having a bolt here like the conventional, the old 120s or even old snowmobiles. This all pivots now on the heim, which twists the front top A-arm. I've come up with a temporary fix to fix it, but not to solve how to stop that from happening. With that said, I've got this one pretty well back to, I don't know, it's probably about 8-10 degrees back. This one here on the other side, he didn't even run into anything. He's just playing in the powder in the field, doing whatever he's doing, and come back and it's almost at 90 degrees. So a good way to gauge that, made up this chunk of pipe, because it's about the 4th time now that he's bent it, and we're only in January. See, we're at 90 degrees. That should be 10, 12 o'clock. It should be back here. So what we're gonna do is take this piece of pipe now, put a couple of clamps on the bottom, put the sledgehammer handle in here, and it'll simply roll everything back to where it should be. The problem with that is now we're weakening the top A-arm. Until we come up with a fix for how to keep that from happening, we'll just keep on doing it, and or buy the newer wide A-arms from Rec Motors, and hopefully those are going to solve that issue. Now the other issue we came across, just a second, and is when Junior runs into that planter or stump in the front yard. It's not going to be good. What happens is this whole piece right here, this whole bulkhead inside, I bent up some aluminum, got this tagged around to fit over the exhaust. It goes all the way around on either side of the inside the A-arms, and welded a chunk of angle iron in behind there. Maybe I'll someday do a tutorial on that, to strengthen the front of the bulkhead and the back of the bulkhead, and then this is bolted to that just because this thing is made chintzy. So I'm not really sure what we're gonna do about this A-arm situation. Everything is always loose. I've tightened these guys up. Those are as tight as they're gonna go, and they still clink. So we're kind of at a standstill until Articat figures out a fix for this. But don't be surprised when Junior comes back and he's got the shock kinked and the A-arm pushed back, and don't be mad at him because he's not even trying to do this. This is a design flaw. There's my tool. Pretty simple. It's about 2.5 inch pipe, sleeved out to fit over that. Then you just put your axe handle or whatever in there with a big hose clamp around the bottom and bend it back for the time being, and order some new shocks, I guess.